In this lesson, I will show you how to set preferences to make drawing and painting in Sketchbook Pro as natural and efficient as possible. Let's begin by moving our cursor to the main menu bar and clicking on the Edit tab. And click on Preferences. Now, you do have several preferences to go over here, and what we'll do is we'll go over the first four, and that's General, Brush, Canvas, and System, and we'll get into the Lagoon on the later lesson. Let's begin with General Options. Now, the first box says Display Layers, Introduction to Screen, Add Image, Import into New Layer. I usually leave those unchecked because I'd like to have an unencumbered canvas as I draw, so it's a good idea to leave those open. Here is Page Up. This allows you to open the previous drawing or open the next image. Now you can turn those on or off depending on which one you want. This one basically allows you to go back and open the previous image. Undos. Now this one is an interesting one because Sketchbook Pro actually allows you to save up to 75 undos and redos. However, what happens in reality is that it does have a tendency to slow down the application, and they've recommended 2 to 30. Because my feeling, if you need to do up to 30 undos and redos, you're probably best starting over another drawing. So I would definitely keep it down to 30, and it keeps the application running nice and smoothly. Depending on the country that you are working in, you have a variety of language-specific designations for your software. And as far as the graphics, I would just definitely disable that because it does add one more item to your working Sketchbook Pro that you don't necessarily need. Let's go to the next tab, that is Brush. Again, Brush Crosshair, and that's the actual cursor or guide that you see as you draw on your screen or on your tablet that's on your screen. And I would definitely click on displaying the crosshair. Now, you do have other options. Best for your hardware. Some people like to select that one. I think the standard display crosshair is good. Again, Brush Outline. I select all of them because it's good to see where you're working. So it's okay to select all of those. Next is Canvas Size. Now, canvas size, that's really up to everyone. Everyone has their specific preferences. Now, again, options enable canvas scroll bars. For me, that's not really important because I have a lot of the move and zoom tools that allows me some capability to navigate across the canvas. However, what I usually like to do is I like to select the largest possible size that I can work in, because what that does, it allows me to work in a size that if I have to repurpose the drawing for web use or for printing, I am always having something that I can always compress in size, and that gives me a nicer quality piece of artwork. So you can go ahead and make selections there. Now here I can just go ahead and enter a size format. I like using 17 by 11. That's a ledger size. That's a pretty nice size drawing that you can print using ledger size paper. And again, I try to work anywhere between 100 and 150 DPI. And the reason for that is that if you start to get in the area of 300 or above, even though that is a very nice quality to print at, what happens is because it's a sketch, it does really slow things down a bit as you work. And since it's a sketch, an illustration, I think working 150 DPI is fine, especially if you're working in a larger size format. System. Now, this is what this does. It allows you to save your Sketchbook Pro work in a variety of file formats. Now, the native format is TIFF. That allows you to save in layers, very much like some of the other image editing software programs that are out there. And a JPEG is really nice because it allows you to save very high quality but in a very small size file. And then there are some other file formats here. These are two that I highly recommend working in because they're really useful across the board for many, many type of illustration formats. And the last one, which I'm going to talk a little bit about right now, I'll go into greater detail in a future lesson, is Interface Lagoon, which allows you to basically customize the location of your particular tool feature. But within each of those features, you can actually customize the location of where you want that tool within the location on the lagoon. So it's a little bit of complexity, but if we go through this step by step in a separate standalone lesson, you'll find that this is going to be probably one of your most useful setups for working in Sketchbook Pro. Once your preferences are preset to your drawing style, rarely will you need to revisit this. More comprehensive tool adjustments will be covered in a future lesson.